Attention! If you are an Auror, or you have a loved one who is an Auror in Harry Potter Wizards Unite, you're going to want to pay attention to this following message. Crit and precision are bad skills in Harry Potter Wizards Unite. And in this video, I'm going to be taking you through the mathematical magical breakdown as to why they're bad and when they can be good. And just to make this clear, this is not an Auror Profession guide. It may as well be an Auror Profession guide, but it's not an Auror Profession guide. And these tips apply to all professions. So, Magizoologists and professors, take notes. So just taking a glance at all of the different stats in Harry Potter Wizards Unite, you have to imagine that one of these has to be a dump stat. Between all these different skills, one of them just ain't it. And the skills that aren't it are precision and critical power. And taking a glance at the Auror Profession skill tree, you can see just how ain't it they is. Yeah, so very early on in the skill tree, there's this skill called Field Training. For the cost of 4 scrolls, you get +1 to your precision. So looking at this, you have to stop and consider just how good is 1% precision. Well, in reality, it's 4 scrolls for a 1% more chance to maybe do 50% more damage, which already sounds bad. And by using the damage calculator made by user Pandros96 on Reddit, link in the description to that damage calculator, we are able to demystify and realize just how bad of a deal this is. So for example, let's say you're an Auror and you get to this split in your skill tree and you go, yeah, I want all the crit. Crit sounds like damage. HP, stamina, that does not sound like damage. This all sounds like damage. So this investment here, maxing out your precision and crit, is a relative cost of 70 scrolls and 17 spellbooks. But using the damage calculator, what that equates to in power is only roughly 3 power. So basically, you just spent 70 scrolls and 17 spellbooks for 3 power, which is just dumb. Alternatively, if you were to go the left route at that break and just, glide through the stamina, pick up this guy here, your charm, and then max that guy out, for only 61 scrolls and 3 spellbooks, you get +7 power. Now, you don't have to be in Ravenclaw to know that 7 is a bigger number than 3. And you also don't have to be in Ravenclaw to realize that you're also getting stamina and a new charm out of this deal as well. So no matter how you cut it, going for that crit side of the skill tree is just bad. And if you're sitting at home going, hey man, what about this skill? You didn't include it in your equation. Well, this is straight power. Both skill trees, whichever way you go, you're going to want to max this out anyways, so I didn't put it in there because it's just a constant. Just like how everything here is a constant. Now, I do want to stop all your Aurors out there from deleting your accounts because you invested in the right side of the skill tree. There does come a point where precision and crit start to even out. For example, if this part of the skill tree equates to roughly 3 power, inevitably there comes a point where the scroll cost ends up, panning out compared to the other skills later on in your skill tree. So eventually it starts to matter. On top of that, this part of the skill tree also blocks off this lovely power gain right here, and it's cheap power. So eventually there comes a point where gliding through this part of the tree to get to this cheaper power skill eventually becomes worth it as well. The point where it is worth it for both of these, coincidentally, comes around the point where you have 60 to 70 base power. Because critical damage goes up when your power goes up, because your critical damage is based off your base power, the crit skills become more worth it as time goes on. Specifically in this part of the skill tree because they're so cheap. All of which to say is that if you have invested in this right side of the skill tree, eventually you're going to want to go there anyways. So at the end of the day, it's all pretty relative. You don't have to worry about it too much. However, if you haven't invested in this part of the tree yet, well then, take the opportunity to hold off until you're at about 70 base power, and then it makes sense to go back here and get those skills. I'd also like to add that the skill Dancing with Dummies is also pretty worth it. For 15 scrolls and 15 spellbooks, you get +35 precision when the enemy's at 100% health. So at the start of battle, you just get all that extra precision and you're probably going to get a crit off of it. So I think that's pretty worth it. However, I do want to highlight that at the time of making this video, Dancing with Dummies is bugged and actually has the opposite effect. So until I put a card up above my head here, letting you guys know that it's no longer bugged, just assume that it's bugged and avoid it until it's no longer not bugged. and then take it because it's worth it. Now, if you're sitting back at home thinking, well, what do I do with the rest of my skill tree and how do I spend my restricted books? This is not an Auror Profession guide. This is just letting you guys know that precision and crit are bad. If I do get a good response from this video, I am willing to do more profession guide videos for Harry Potter Wizards Unite. So make sure to subscribe, like, and drop a comment. Let me know that you're into this. And if you are wondering about the professors and the Magizoologists as far as crit and precision go, if it ain't worth it for the crit and precision based class, yeah, it ain't really worth it for you guys either. So now you know, precision and crit definitely suck. The only profession that they don't really suck for too much is Aurors, and that's just because they get those skills so early on in their tree that inevitably the cost to benefit ratio becomes worth it. If you enjoyed this content, you want to see more like it, well, make sure to drop a comment, let me know you're into it, let me know what you want to see next, and make sure to subscribe to SwagTips. If you got any questions on this content, comment below, let me know what's up, and I'll be happy to help you out. And I'd also like to give a shout out again to the Reddit user Pondros96, I hope that's how you say it, for making the damage calculator, because that has done a lot to help demystify these skills in Harry Potter Wizards Unite. I hope to demystify more stats as time goes on. SwagTips. And for my Pokemon Go base here, don't worry guys, the Swagman is not leaving you, and I have more Pogo videos scheduled out for the rest of this week, so I'm still on it. I'm still living that Pogo life. I don't think at this point I can escape the Pogo life, so we in it. Don't worry.